Hi, and welcome to another edition of Dad's Divorce Live. I'm Matt Allen, editor of DadsDivorce.com. Today I'm joined by Craig Schelske, who has been fighting to have increased parenting time with his children with his ex-wife, country music star Sara Evans. The contentious divorce battle has all taken place in the public eye and even recently resulted in his ex-wife's attorney settling a slander lawsuit Craig had filed against him and issuing a letter of apology because of her attorney's actions in the case. Now, unfortunately, Craig has become what every dad going through divorce fears and every other weekend schedule parent marginalized by the family court system, and he's pursuing public policy changes regarding children's rights. You can learn more about Craig and his story by visiting his website, thecraigschelske.com. So, Craig, thanks for taking time to join me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Matt. Thanks for having me on.
Now, just recently, just in the past week or two, you were back in court seeking more parenting time with your children while your ex-wife is on the road this summer on tour. Now, I know that motion was dismissed. Did the judge give a reasoning for not letting you have more time when the kid's mother would be on the road traveling?
Well, opposing counsel argues that the motion had not been properly filed because he claimed that I had not sworn an affidavit to support it, which in our opinion was ridiculous because it was a motion. And anyway, they got the law books, and the judge said, you know what, it could go either way. And then he jumped on the issue of saying, why haven't you talked to the, quote, parenting coordinator, unquote, which I'm not required to do, to file a motion to get more time with my kid. But I just feel that the judge was trying to make it very clear to me, given my success against my ex-wife's former divorce attorney, in suing him for slander and false light, outrageous conduct, conspiracy to defraud, that the judge was basically trying to show me, you're not going to come in here being cocky over this. And I'm certainly not, but I don't have a lot of faith in the family court system, given the fact that I did have to sue this divorce attorney to get a firm footing underneath me, given the light of many things that the media reported falsely. In a separate arbitration, we forced a former Tennessee Supreme Court justice to recuse himself, and then we forced the judge who was residing over what are now the current parenting issues, we forced him to recuse himself about 5 weeks ago. So I think that the new judge was basically trying to show me that I'm going to run this show, which is fine. I respect that. But, as to the specific motions, yes, I had a motion to have the kids for summer. We're discussing strategy. He dismissed that without prejudice, which means that we will be able to refile it. And then secondly, we had filed a motion for psychiatric evaluation in regards to parental alienation, which is something I'm very concerned about.
Right. Now, as mentioned, the claims of parental alienation, what's it like when you're with your kids and you feel like you are being alienated against?
Pain beyond anything you ever imagined.
Yeah.
Obviously, these difficulties had a high profile, which was very painful. But when it comes to a father that loves their children, has been in their lives every day from the day they were born, to go to seeing in them behaviors and changes in their mannerisms and their connection with you, it becomes more and more difficult. It takes more and more time. It used to be it took about 24 hours with one of my children before they returned to that normal father-child bond that you had always enjoyed and felt. And it would become increasingly more difficult to overcome that barrier. Wow. That's when I began to research out what parental alienation was and what was taking place. And I'm very concerned about it.
Yeah. Now, divorce, I mean, obviously is a really emotional, personal, intimate issue. And you and your ex-wife, you're celebrities. You've been, this whole, divorce battle has played out in the public eye. So what's that like, and having these really personal family issues, played out for the world, and how do your children deal with it?
Well, I have a confidentiality agreement with my ex-wife not to discuss the allegations or issues regarding the divorce, and I'm also in an injunction not to talk about my opinions of the guy I sued. So I'm going to stay away from both of those.
Okay.
But as I've seen this effect of what the media falsely reported, and the fact that those things are going to live on the internet forever, has greatly concerned me. I suspect that my oldest may have already begun reading things online, and once the damage is done, it can't be brought back. There's it can't be undone. Those things are going to live forever out there in Cyberdome, and it's a very painful thing. The best that I can do is be a good parent, to love my kids, to give them the very best I possibly can, to reinforce them with principles of truth, the ideas of things that I believe in that are going to make them strong as individuals, to overcome some of these pains that are certainly going to come at them at some point.
Now, you mentioned some of the injustices you've already faced in the family law system as a dad battling for custody. Was it surprising to you how difficult this has become for you? I mean, did you have any preconceptions that this is going to be a really uphill battle, since I am a dad fighting for custody?
Yeah, Matt. It's interesting. I was just having a conversation. I went in for a little checkup today with my doctor, and I was sharing with him that we had settled the slander suit, that I was very pleased with it, and that I had been issued a letter of apologies. And, for the dads out there, I'll tell you what, guys, when we went through this, it was clear that this man was my, the thing that I had to focus on. And it was a very, very tough fight, but he was brought to justice. The system will work if you're willing to fight. And, I had my faith in God. Number one, I had a wonderful family that knew the truth and knew me. I had a handful of really true friends. I had the truth on my side, and I had the resources to fight. And I think in the economy of divorce, the economy of being a single dad, those 5 key elements are something that you should pay attention to and nurture those and reinforce those various fronts.
Yeah.
So that you can make your way through.
Do you think if you didn't have those resources to fight, you would have been as successful?
No, and that's the thing that why I think that this is a cause for me. There's a purpose behind it. I'm a Christian. I believe that God has purpose and destiny for my life. I never expected it to be something like this, but as I look at it, I hear the stories of what other dads have been through, and even some moms.
Yeah.
And you remove one of those variables, and you've got sometimes a hopeless situation, given whatever strategies are employed against you. And I, for one, had those things in place, so I was successful. But I hope that my story will inspire, other dads to stay in the fight for your kids, and in the fight against the legal system.
Well, finally, this every other weekend parenting plan that you and so many other dads are on is obviously really not that beneficial to the non-custodial parent or the children, particularly in your case where you live on the West Coast and your ex-wife and the children live in Alabama. So how do you stay involved in your kids' lives? How do you be a good dad when you only get to see them at most a couple days a month?
What I would say to dads is, just plug in with your kids in the same ways you always have. Don't change the way you are as a dad. Maintain your discipline, your love, your affection. Maintain everything you did before. Don't change in spite of the fact that maybe you've gone through something difficult through the course of the divorce. Use all your time well. And I would encourage every dad, every mom who is in a disadvantaged situation over time, fight for 50-50. That's what's right. That's what's fair. Fit parents should have an equal playing field, because it's the kids who suffer. They're deprived of one parent or the other, and they're entitled to 100% of both of their parents.
Right. Well, Craig, good luck in your fight to get that 50-50 and more parenting time with your children. And thanks again for taking time out of your day to share your story with me and our viewers.
Thank you, Matt. And anytime you want to have me back on, I'm here.
Great. Well, thank you. Again, that's Craig Schelske. You can learn more about him by visiting his website, thecraigschelske.com. That'll do it for this edition of Dad's Divorce Live. I'm Matt Allen, editor of DadsDivorce.com.